Good evening. I am Menlo Park Mayor Jen Wallison, and welcome to the City Council's January 10th regular City Council meeting. This is actually, Judy, do we have participants coming in?
Yes, we do.
Thank you. This is a hybrid meeting with City Council, city staff, and members of the public participating in City Council chambers in accordance with public health guidelines for in-person meetings and participating remotely to promote social distancing in this federal, state, and local emergency. I would like to introduce City Council members and staff present. Vice Mayor Cecilia Taylor will be joining remotely. And in the chambers, we have City Council members Drew Combs, Maria Dorr, and Betsy Nash. Staff present include City Manager Justin Murphy, City Attorney Neera Doherty, and City Clerk Judy Herron. City Clerk Herron, would you please provide instructions to the City Council and members of the public on how this meeting will proceed?
Yes, thank you, Mayor Wallison. And again, echoing a welcome to our January 10th regular City Council meeting. For members of the public participating virtually, when you are ready to provide public comment after the mayor calls for public comment on that item, we ask that you engage that hand feature in the bottom of your screen. If you're calling in from a landline or a cell phone, you can press *9. For members of the public participating in person, there are speaker cards at that back table. We'll ask you to complete one of those and then return to my desk. That concludes my instructions at this time. Mayor Wallison, you may continue.
Thank you, City Clerk Herron. Agenda review. Agenda review provides advance notice to members of the public and city staff of any modifications to the agenda order or any requests from City Council members under City Council member reports. Does any member of the City Council wish to pull or modify an agenda item at this time? Yes, Vice Mayor Taylor.
Thank you, Mayor Willison. I would like to pull the meeting minutes, so item E1, and also E1, E2, E3, their brief comments, and E5.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Taylor. Are there any hands being raised on the dais for additional agenda review items?
No, there are not.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Nash. So it looks like, is there, City Clerk Herron, should we move forward with public comment on all items? Oh, never mind. We are going to start with public comment. And then when we get to the consent calendar, we know what items we're pulling. So bear with us as we get through this. So we're going to public comment. Under public comment, the public may address the City Council on any subject not listed on the agenda. Each speaker may address the City Council once under public comment for a limit of 3 minutes. You are not required to provide your name or city of residence, but it is helpful. The City Council cannot act on items not listed on the agenda, and therefore the City Council cannot respond to non-agenda items, issues brought up under public comment, other than to provide general information. I will be calling for public comment at the appropriate time for members of the public to address the City Council on any items under agenda sections. Those include the consent calendar, the public hearing, regular business, and informational items. So at this time, we are going to be calling for general public comment, again, on items not listed on the agenda. So City Clerk Herron, can you please call for general public comment?
Yes, thank you, Mayor Wallison. So at this time, if any member of the public wishes to provide comment for an item not on tonight's agenda, we ask that you engage that hand feature in the bottom of your screen. If you're calling in from a landline or a cell phone, please press *9. For members of the public in person, please complete a speaker card at the back table and return it to the clerk's desk. And our first speaker is in person and will be Lynn Bramlett.
So, good evening, Council. Is this the right volume level? Okay, first I want to welcome our newest council member. It's wonderful to see you up there. And being back here in the council chambers. So I'll be very brief. I suggest that the city's mission statement be reviewed as part of the goal setting process. And at first, I'm not quite sure what it is because I searched for it and I found multiple versions. The one that I think it is in the City Council Procedure Manual. And that is a very long mission statement that I think needs a review for various reasons. I kind of detail a little bit in this memo for you. So I want to confirm what it is. I think it needs updating, modernizing. I'm not sure when it was developed, if that is in fact the mission statement. And then once we have a mission statement, it seems to me it really should be a working mission statement. In other words, it's like a guidance for everything. I would expect to see it at the website, part of planning, et cetera. So as part of a topic I'll be talking about later tonight, I've been doing some research, and I like the town of Los Gatos mission statement. Now, I'm not suggesting we just adopt what they have, and kind of a cut and paste with a new name. But to me, it's inspiring, it's to the point, and it also talks about how we work together. So I think with some comparative studies, and I'd be happy to help with any of this, this would help us move forward. So thank you, Council.
Thank you for your comment. And for members of the public, there was an attachment to this public comment received from the commenter, which will be attached to these minutes, and it was also provided to members of the City Council at our dais. I will also be providing those copies to our virtual City Council members as soon as possible. Okay, so this will be the final call for public comment for items not on tonight's agenda. Seeing no hands and no further cards, Mayor Willison, you may continue.
Thank you, City Clerk Herron, and thank you, Ms. Bramlett, for keeping our mission and what we're doing and the big picture always in mind. We appreciate your comments. We are now going on to the consent calendar. Under the consent calendar, the City Council may take action to approve routine business items in one motion unless a City Council member, city staff member, or a member of the public requests that an item be discussed or continued to a later date. City Clerk Herron, can you please call for public comment on the consent calendar?
Yes, thank you, Mayor Willison. So at this time, if any member of the public wishes to provide comment on our consent calendar items, E1, City Council meeting minutes, E2, a resolution to continue conducting City Council and advisory body meetings remotely, E3, an update to the City Council policy related to commissions and committees, E3, an agreement with LookPoint for new network switches, E5, the annual report status of transportation impact, storm drainage, and recreation in lieu and construction impact fees, and E6, a resolution to receive a grant from the California Department of Education. Please engage that hand feature in the bottom of your screen. If you're calling in from a landline or a cell phone, please press *9. For members of the public in person, please complete a speaker card at that back table and return to the clerk's desk. And our first speaker will be for item E3, that is Lynn Bramlett.
So good evening again. So this topic of the minor change to the procedure is an opportunity for me to talk about these commissions in general. And I think, first they do a lot of good, and I think they could do even more good. And I asked that during the goal setting meeting, this be part of what is looked at in terms of how we can align more strategically. I stumbled across the recruitment brochure for the city manager. And I don't remember how I was looking for it, but it actually provides a lot of input from the public that I think is really quite strategic. And the copy I gave you, I have a little flag where it starts. And it seems to me that what stakeholders said they'd like to see. And this, is pretty much soup to nuts in our city, starting with the council and so forth. Represent items that possibly could be incorporated into some of these roles. So I speak as a former library commissioner. I also, for more than 2 years, faithfully attended the Finance and Audit Committee meetings and did work as part of a subcommittee. And I even did a project for the then finance director. So that, these committees can also be a source of practical work. So I think it would be good to look at them. And because I'm the kind of person who likes to see what do other people do, what can I learn from them, I did a little comparative study. So I did a study of populations of 30,000 to 40,000, and I just did a data, a research, not going any deeper. What do they offer? Are these active? Are there residents serving? And so I just listed the names. And some of these names kind of have evolution of things that people have talked about here, like arts and culture, or, I see it mentioned. So it's an opportunity for further research. So I'm not trying to add to anyone's workload, but hopefully, it's skimmable enough that, you kind of get an idea, maybe something stands out. You can, of course, look into it on your own. If you need any kind of help, if you want to pursue this idea further, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. And my contact information is here. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. And also there is an attachment to this public comment. It'll be attached to the minutes of it was delivered to the city council members who are in person and will be sent to our city council members virtual today. With that, this will be the final call for public comment on our consent calendar items E1 through E6. And seeing no further hands, Mayor Willison, you may continue.
Thank you, City Clerk Karen, and thank you once again to Ms. Bramlett for your insight and analysis that you provided us. So at this point, I want to see if we should move ahead with approving the consent calendar on the items that, actually, why don't we go to Vice Mayor Taylor and see what you want to say, and if we can make one motion altogether, great, and if not, we'll separate it out.
Okay, I actually think we should separate it out. I think it'll be easier, and
Okay,
I'll make the
great.
motion to approve item E1, I'm sorry, E4 and E6.
Great,
I
is
will
there a
sec-
second?
I will second the item or the motion.
Thank you. So City Clerk Karen, we have a motion from Vice Mayor Taylor and a second from Councilmember Nash.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Willison. So the motion on the floor by Vice Mayor Taylor and a second by City Council Member Nash is to approve consent calendar items E4 and E6. Any further City Council question or discussion? Seeing none, by roll call vote, City Council Member Combs,
Yes.
City Council Member Doer,
Yes.
City Council Member Nash,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Taylor,
Yes.
Mayor Willison,
Yes,
and the motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
thank you. I'll now turn it over to Vice Mayor Taylor to discuss the items that she pulled.
Thank you, Mayor Willison. And the first one is item E1, and this is in the minutes, specifically on page E1.3, and just wanted to acknowledge that Marlene Santoyo read into the record comments from 13 residents, and I believe they were all in Spanish. And I just want to make sure that it was included in the minutes. The second item is on page E1.11. And since this was not a part of the motion, and this specifically is the statement, that City Council directed the that the annual reporting of the development agreement be transmitted to the city council and to agendize how impact fees are used in the city. So considering that we have an item, I believe it's E4 coming up, I just wanted to reiterate that about how impact fees are used in the city, that requesting that to be agendized. Since it wasn't a part of the motion, I just wanted to make it clear that it's a request to have this on the agenda to discuss more thoroughly, especially with item E, I think it's E4. So those are my comments on E1.
Through the mayor, this is City Clerk Karen. Mayor
Yes,
Rosen.
for Karen.
Thank you. So Vice Mayor Taylor's edits can be updated in those minutes without any further discussion unless there is more from the council.
Do any other council members want to discuss E1?
No, not on the dais. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Nash. Okay, Vice Mayor Taylor, E2.
Thank you, Ms. Herron, and thank you, Council. E2, I don't see it in the staff report, but just wanted to find out if there's been a poll or a discussion with commissioners about hybrid, virtual, or in person, what folks are preferring. And it may be necessary for the council to have a policy about having hybrid indefinitely. I just want to keep our participation where it is or increase it as opposed to that changing if we go back to in-person only.
Does staff want to comment? I actually have a related council member report at the end about a new state law regarding the Brown Act, AB 2449, that has state requirements on meetings, and an effort underway by some local councils and regional boards to try to get that modified a bit. But City Manager Murphy or City Attorney Doherty, do you have any insight into the flexibility that we have on that topic?
Thank you, Mayor and Council Member, and Vice Mayor. I'm sorry, I'm getting used to it also. Does this sound okay? Yeah, so AB 2449 went into effect on January 1st. It is going to limit the ability to limit the flexibility. Well, it expands the flexibility that's currently in the Brown Act with respect, but will be more limited than the hybrid and remote structure that we are currently operating in, which is AB 361. The primary difference is once AB 361 expires, which is either January 1st, 2024, or when the state, the governor's state of emergency expires, is that a majority of council members must participate in person from a single location within the city. There are also limitations on a council member's ability to participate remotely. It needs to be due to certain health requirements, and there are certain health related matters, and there are certain disclosure requirements that council members must make. AB 2449 also applies to commissioners and other legislative bodies. So once AB 361 expires, there's going to be more limitations than we're operating under for remote and hybrid meetings.
Vice Mayor Taylor.
Thank you, Mayor Wilson. Just a follow-up question. So can the city council adopt a resolution to have hybrid meetings, or we have to completely follow the governor's direction through AB 2449?
That's right. So once AB 361 expires, we'll just be operating under the state laws with respect to hybrid and remote meetings. And there's the city manager and I can discuss whether or not we'd want to, or we'd recommend adopting regulations or procedures that operate to guide councils and commissioners, but those regulations, to the extent we'd recommend them, would have to be consistent with state law and AB 2449.
Thank you.
Given that this topic has gone in the direction that it has, I'm going to go ahead and just share out what I was going to share out in my council member report, which was this topic of hybrid and virtual and in-person, and kind of really the need to that AB 2449 has on legislative bodies coming back in person and really limiting the number of virtually attended meetings. It especially has an impact on regional boards that have found quite a bit of benefits from virtual attendance. It also, as City Attorney Doherty has outlined, limits our ability to have that flexibility for our commissions and our council. So there is a regional effort underway. The City of San Carlos, their mayor, Adam Rack, and a council member, Sarah McDowell, are leading an effort, have created a letter for either councils, legislative bodies, or individual council members to sign on to, that is directed to Assembly Member Rubio, who authored AB 2449, outlining kind of some of the unintended consequences on potentially attendance, especially with regional boards and folks needing to commute more, greenhouse gas emissions. And so there is an effort underway to seek amendments to this bill. Our council historically has not really kind of weighed in on legislative matters as a body due to our packed agendas and kind of that being potentially a slippery slope. So I'm planning to have City Manager Murphy circulate the proposed letter that was written by San Carlos, and that's being signed on by different bodies and different council members. And he will be forwarding that to the council for your review. And it would be my recommendation then, if you're so inclined to sign on, to do it as an individual council member, as a way to highlight some of these problematic features that many find with this new state law. So that's my report. If anyone has any comments or questions about that. Okay, if not, Vice Mayor Taylor, anything else regarding the hybrid meeting E2?
No, that was all. Thank you.
Okay, then I believe E3.
E3, thank you. And this is about city council policy, commission and committee policy. And at this time, as a member of the Finance and Audit Committee, I want to make a recommendation that we actually remove council from the committee, or at least consider it.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Taylor. I'm wondering if you would be comfortable discussing that when we get to board and liaison appointments.
Yes.
As we're going through that. And would you be comfortable then with E3 as is, knowing that we'll discuss
Yes.
that later? Okay, thank you. So why don't we move on to E5, unless anyone else wanted to say anything about E3. Okay, let's go to E5.
Thank you. And this is, it's more about having this item on the agenda, but I just had some questions about attachment A. And that is, so just looking at the agenda item, attachment A, with the list of transportation impact fee future projects. Because the projection for Willow and Newbridge is somewhere past 2027, and just thinking about how dangerous it is and the fact that it's right next to a freeway, is there opportunity to possibly update the transportation master plan so that this would be done sooner. There's an agenda item or one of our, I think, a public hearing to talk about impact fees. So just wanted to know if there's opportunity there. I just think that having improvement in 5 years, and I know it has to do with funding. So so that's one question. And then the other is on the same list for Chilco, just wanted to confirm that the Chilco project was covered by development agreement funds. Because based on this chart, you can't tell.
Yes, please, Ms. Nagaya.
Thank you, Mayor Willison, and thank you, Vice Mayor Taylor, for the questions. Good evening. I'm Nikki Nagaya, Deputy City Manager with the city, and so I'll try to take those questions in reverse order to start tonight. And so, in regard to Chilco Street improvements, the funds, the funding source for the bulk of those improvements were, as Vice Mayor Taylor said, was from the development agreement with Meta. There was an amount of city funding that was used to reimburse Meta as negotiated in the development agreement from the construction impact fee fund. And so that's shown in attachment D to this item. The amount this past year was just over $900,000. And so that was a reimbursement of the fees that Meta would have paid into the construction impact fee fund. It would typically be used for resurfacing roadways in association with impacts from construction traffic. And so the rest of the project was funded by development agreement funds from Meta, as you suggested. Does that answer that question?
Yes, it does. And thank you. And congratulations.
Thank you. Great. So then the other question about the transportation impact fees is shown in attachment A. The Willow Road and Newbridge Street improvement is shown to receive transportation impact fee funds in the future years. The funding year is determined in the capital improvement program. And what this chart shows is there would be sometime between 2023 and 2027. I can double check and follow up with you on the year that it shows up in the CIP specifically. I don't have that information in front of me right now, but we can follow up shortly with that. And we're also actively looking for grant funding to be able to supplement those funds as well, try to advance the project as quickly as we can. So I don't think the change in timing specifically needs to be updated in the transportation master plan. The only thing that would need an update to the plan is if you wanted to change the scope of the improvements, but the timing is set in the council's annual budgeting process and the adoption of the CIP.
Thank you. And I have a follow-up question. So if additional funding comes to the city, then it's possible the project could happen sooner.
Could happen sooner, the scope could be potentially different or larger depending on the amount of funding that we're able to secure.
Okay, thank you.
And just to clarify for those following along, I believe Vice Mayor Taylor was congratulating Ms. Nagaya on her promotion from Public Works Director to Deputy City Manager, if I'm right. So are there any other comments from City Council members on items on the consent calendar this evening?
Not on the dais.
Then can I get a motion for the consent calendar? Vice Mayor Taylor.
I'll make a motion to approve items E1, E2, E3, and E5.
Thank you. And is there a second?
I will second. And we have a question up on the dais, whether or not Councilmember Dorr can vote on E1 and how to handle that.
Unless you've watched the meeting video and are familiar with the topics that were discussed, it would be appropriate to abstain from that vote.
Thank you very much. Would I also need to abstain from a response on the other?
No, that would be fine to vote on.
Okay, thank you.
So perhaps Vice Mayor Taylor, would you be willing to modify your motion so we can have two separate motions so that Councilmember Dorr can vote on E2, E3, and E5 and have E1 separate?
Yes. I'll make a motion to approve E1.
I'll second that.
Thank you. So I have a motion on the floor by Vice Mayor Taylor and a second by Mayor Willison to accept the city council meeting minutes for November 15th, 30th, and December 6th, 13th, and 21st with edits as provided by Vice Mayor. Any further city council questions or discussion on E1? Seeing none, by roll call vote, City Council Member Combs,
Yes.
City Council Member Doer,
I abstain.
City Council Member Nash,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Taylor,
Yes.
Mayor Willison,
Yes.
and the motion passes with City Council Member Dorr abstaining. Thank you.
Thank you, City Clerk Karen. And Vice Mayor Taylor, would you like to make a motion on the other items?
Yes. I'll make a motion to approve items E2, E3, and E5.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I will second.
Thank you, Councilmember Nash.
So we have a motion on the floor by Vice Mayor Taylor and a second by City Council Member Nash to approve the consent items E2, E3, and E5. Any further city council question or discussion? Seeing none, by roll call vote, City Council Member Combs,
Yes.
City Council Member Doer,
Yes.
City Council Member Nash,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Taylor,
Yes.
Mayor Willison,
Yes.
and the motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you, City Clerk Karen, and thank you for your comments, Vice Mayor Taylor, on those extra items. We're now moving on to our public hearing. Public hearings are a formal proceeding held in order to receive testimony from all interested parties on a proposed issue or action. Tonight's public hearing is F1. Adopt a resolution to approve the use permit and architectural control approvals for the Menlo Uptown Development Project to allow for the potential removal of infrastructure investments at Willow Road and Bay Road from the project conditions of approval, to authorize the city manager to sign a modified public improvement agreement for the Menlo Uptown Development, and to authorize the removal of condition of approval 2.ww.ii. To introduce this item is Assistant Public Works Director Hugh Lauch.
Thank you, Mayor Wilson, Vice Mayor Taylor, and members of council. Happy to introduce this item for you today. This will just be a quick update as this is a request that has come from members of City Council directly to us, and we're trying to implement it here tonight. So as stated, the basic effect of what's in front of you tonight will be to remove from construction a set of infrastructure investments at Willow and Bay Road that would have added a second left turn lane from Bay Road onto Willow Road. And there's a variety of things that had to happen to do that. You all may recall that sometime last year, you removed conditions of approval associated with the Menlo Uptown development at Willow and Coleman and Willow and Gilbert. And then this one was raised back in October by Councilmember Combs as a request to also reconsider. It has since gone to the Planning Commission, which did authorize unanimously, or not authorize, but recommend to council unanimously that it be removed. And now we are bringing it forward to you tonight. And then just one quick note, there's a very small change to the public improvement agreement that was attached to the packet, which I think City Clerk will put up, which was just to add those words revised and restated in front of public improvement agreement to make it clear that it's a new version of it. So that's a slight change, but not a substantive one. So with that, if you have any questions, happy to answer them. I do believe that Matt Udosh from Greystar is on a line somewhere tonight as well, if you have any questions for him. But that's the extent of my presentation tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Louch. So at this time, if there are any technical or clarifying questions for Mr. Louch from the council, you can ask now. And if not, we can open the public hearing. So any clarifying questions at this time from council?
Not from the dais.
Thank you very much. With that, I would like to open the public hearing. City Clerk Herron, please call for public comments on this item.
Thank you, Mayor Willison. So at this time, if any member of the public wishes to provide comment on our public hearing item F1, adopt a resolution to approve the use permit and architectural control approvals for the Menlo Uptown Development Project to allow for the potential removal of infrastructure investments at Willow Road and Bay Road from the project conditions of approval, to authorize the city manager to sign a modified public improvement agreement for the Menlo Uptown Development, and to authorize the removal of conditional of approval 2.ww.ii. Please engage that hand feature in the bottom of your screen. If you're calling in from a landline or a cell phone, please press *9. If participating in person, please complete a speaker card in the back of the room and return to the clerk's desk. And this will be the final call for public comment on our public hearing item F1. Seeing no hands or cards, Mayor Willison, you may continue.
All right, with that, I will now close the public hearing and open this item up for council discussion. Would anyone like to comment on this item?
Yeah, this is Councilmember Combs.
Please.
First, I wanted to thank staff for the responsiveness on this issue. This proposed change or removal came as a result of a tour of the flood triangle area that Mr. Louch and Mr. Murphy accompanied, attended with me and some residents of flood triangle. And this intersection was much discussed, and this planned improvement was a key portion of that discussion, and the discussion centered on who the improvement was for. And then part of that discussion was some concern that it really wasn't for an improvement that benefited the residents in the flood triangle area, and that, incentivizing additional car traffic was not something that that was a benefit. And so continue that discussion with residents, and then continue the discussion with Mr. Murphy and Mr. Louch, and I'm glad that we were able to get this before the council. So that's the background, and with that, I will actually also move on this item.
I will be happy to second the motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Nash.
So we have a motion on the floor by City Council Member Combs and a second by City Council Member Nash to adopt a resolution to 1, approve the use permit and architectural control revisions to modify the conditions of approval for the Menlo Uptown Development Project to allow the City Council to consider removal of infrastructure investments at Willow Road and Bay Road from conditions of approval. 2, update the public improvement agreement for the Menlo Uptown Development to remove the infrastructure investments at Willow Road and Bay Road. And number 3, authorize the removal of condition of approval 2.ww.ii. Any further City Council question or discussion?
Actually, I'm just going to chime in here, and I really appreciate Councilmember Combs flagging this, and that we are removing this, as I say, improvement in quotes. And I think this Menlo Uptown project conditions of approval that we're generating some intersection quote improvements is a good case study for us as we reflect on our transportation impact analysis guidelines and the outputs that they're producing. And I hope this council will have an opportunity to revisit our transportation impact analysis guidelines to adjust them in a way that doesn't further continue to recommend and put in these types of measures. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Willison. Any further city council questions or discussion? Seeing none, by roll call vote, City Council Member Combs,
Yes.
City Council Member Doer,
Yes.
City Council Member Nash, Vice Mayor Taylor,
Yes.
Mayor Willison,
Yes.
and the motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you, City Clerk Herron. We are moving on to regular business. Under regular business, the City Council considers recommendations from city staff on policy matters or administrative actions that require City Council approval. Tonight's regular business item is G1. Appoint City Council representatives and alternates to various local and regional agencies and as liaisons and members to City Council advisory bodies. City Clerk Herron, will you please introduce this item?
Yes, thank you, Mayor Willison. I have a very brief verbal presentation for the City Council tonight. The item before you is appointments of City Council members as representatives and alternatives to various local and regional agencies, appointments to applicable advisory bodies as members and as liaisons. This is done annually after the City Council reorganization, the end of the calendar year. In the staff report, staff has outlined some options for the City Council, which we can review as we go through the appointments to assist the City Council with making their appointments. I do have a Word document that we can work on live, just kind of line by line going through the various regional assignments that are required. Some of these in the beginning are generally for the mayor and vice mayor. So you'll see those pre-filled. However, those can be discussed as the City Council sees fit. And that does conclude my presentation at this time. Happy to answer any questions or open public comment.
Thank you, City Clerk Herron. Are there any technical clarifying questions? Doesn't look like it, so we're going to go ahead and move on to public comment, please.
Thank you, Mayor Willison. So at this time, if any member of the public wishes to provide comment on our regular business item G1, appoint City Council representatives and alternatives to various local and regional agencies and as liaisons and members to City Council advisory bodies, please engage that hand feature in the bottom of your screen. If you're calling in from a landline or a cell phone, please press *9. For anyone participating in person, please complete a speaker card at that back table and return it to the clerk's desk. This will be the final call for public comment on regular business item G1. And seeing no hands and no cards, Mayor Willison, you may continue.
Thank you, City Clerk Herron. So I think before we start going through the list, there are a handful of kind of questions in the staff report about some ideas. And I wanted to just go through those before we start assigning ourselves. I actually wanted to start with Vice Mayor Taylor, who earlier this evening brought up an idea about the FNA, the Finance and Audit Committee, and I'd like to turn it over to her.
Thank you, Mayor Willison. And I Not sure about the background here, why we have council members on there. So I just have actually a question for Ms. Herron or for the city manager. Was the number of participants on the Finance and Audit Committee based on having a quorum?
So I can begin. I will look to our city manager. I don't have a lot of the background on it. So initially, the FAC was a committee of 5 members, where the other committees and commissions for the city of Menlo Park were 7-member. And I do believe the Finance and Audit was brought to 7 members, bringing in the city council liaisons as members. And that was done fairly recently. I'd want to say within the last couple of years, that was changed. Initially, again, the Finance and Audit Committee was a body of 5 with 2 city council liaisons, and then it was FAC was updated to a body of 7 with the city council liaisons as actual voting members. Now,
excuse me, City Clerk Karen, I don't believe that's actually the history, and I'm getting a nod from a previous council member that was on the Finance and Audit Committee. I'm pretty sure from the outset, council members did sit on the Finance and Audit Committee. At one point in time, the composition increased in size 5 to 7. So, but I'm pretty sure when it was first established, 5 city council members had been on it from the get-go. So, I think if there's a desire at all this evening to kind of revisit the composition of Finance and Audit Committee, we should probably kind of come back to that specifically. But if there's, we would definitely want some direction. Consider that. So kind of can open it up to the council for some discussion, but I'm not sure whether we're prepared this evening for the full history of the Finance and Audit Committee.
I'd actually like to chime in here. As having sat on the Finance and Audit Committee this past year, it was a bit awkward when there were votes making recommendations to the city council. And I often found myself abstaining. And so I would be in support of this coming back to either remove city council members or enlarge the Finance and Audit Committee with residents. So that's my feedback. Is there other input from council on this?
So this is Councilmember Combs, and Clerk Karen, as someone who sat on the committee, I understand why you're confused, because I was confused for the years I was on it. But yeah, I think where City Manager Murphy was going, that when it was 5 members, council members were voting members. I think at some time, historically speaking, there were possibly no council members on, but then we went to the 7. It added 2 additional residents or non-council member to the body to bring it to 7, because we were having issues with quorum, and so that was one of the primary issues. But the status of the council members as voting members didn't change. I think historically there was a desire that council, since this was a committee that was looking at and making sort of suggestions related to the budget, there was this idea that it had value having council members in those discussions to sort of help steer and provide some direction and guidance, like as part of the discussion to the residents. And so you didn't have direction to staff going far off field. And it was, as someone who sat in that commission, it could be our committee, to use the mayor's term, kind of awkward in that the commission maybe was looking our committee to give direction that both the staff and the council members knew was really not going to go anywhere for a lot of reasons of which they have visibility into, of which the committee members did not. All that being said, I am actually supportive of this, even if council members were added. I say let's give it a try. Like, right, all old things are new again. I think the city is probably keeps going back. And so if we're going now into a phase where we're taking them, I say let's try it and see.
So it sounds like right now, Vice Mayor Taylor, Councilmember Combs, and I would like this to come back. Councilmember Nash or Councilmember Dorr, any thoughts?
I would agree with it coming back and taking council members off the Finance and Audit Committee.
And I'd just like to echo my support of that as well.
Okay, City Manager Murphy, do you have the direction you need on this? And should we then hold off on when we go through the list, kind of wait on this item?
Let's see. So one question in the seat, we can definitely bring it back as a standalone. I'll say to minimize some potential confusion, I would just deal with the Finance and Audit Committee all at once in terms of changes in status from a member to a liaison or any clarification of terms. I think the one thing that might generally be helpful is a general feel for the size of the committee. So if it's currently at 7, and if there's a general feel that 7 might be the appropriate number, that may be helpful. Again, it won't be acting on it tonight. In terms of us being prepared when it comes back, that'd be good. So I think our default would be to be looking at a body of 7 members. But so if there's any feeling that it should be different, that'd be helpful to know.
I can't see heads. Are they nodding? Or
So this is Councilmember Combs. My head at least is not nodding. I actually think we'd have recruitment problems at 7. To be honest, I think as far as like sort of engagement had historically, there've been a couple of long-term members like Ron Shepard. I know Sudi Tronson, but there's a couple of others who I can't remember. But overall, I think it has been challenging, like sort of staffing that committee, and so it is not the most exciting subject matter in the world. And so I actually would think that I don't like sort of have a substantive argument in favor or in favor of 7 over 5, but I think the smaller body would be easier to recruit for and retain people.
are others in agreement with Councilmember Combs or a different opinion? Councilmember Nash, were you
So-
going to say something?
This is Councilmember Nash, and I am fine with 5 or 7. I would just point out that with the consent item, we are actually, there actually will be a regular schedule for the Finance and Audit Committee, which I believe is one of the reasons why there was difficulty getting quorum. So presumably with a more predictable schedule, that will make it easier, which may or may not affect the recruitment.
Thank you, Councilmember Nash. So City Manager Murphy, perhaps we start with 5, and if we get an overwhelming deluge of applicants, we reassess. Does that answer your questions?
Yes, Mayor, and we can, because this will be coming back with an council action, there may be some options in the staff report. We may have a default that's starting with 5. Actually go through the next round of commission recruitments, which is typically spring. That may be a feel for how many applicants we get, and we may need to adjust the composition from there. So I think the default will be 5 initially.
Thank you. So a follow-up question then for you, City Manager Murphy. Are we going to have any issues until those seats are filled? Would it make sense for potentially council members to stay on until there's a transition period? Would that be helpful? Because I know there's probably a meeting in the first quarter coming up. So I don't want them to be without a quorum.
Let's see, I'm not sure that I could do the full math on what was just approved earlier with coming up. So I think for this first meeting, we can just stick with 4 for purposes of holding a meeting, 4 for them to vote. I think we can just stick with the 5 non-council members and go from there. Because if we can't get the full can't get 4 people in attendance, then it'd be challenging for them to actually pursue any of the business for recommendation. So I think we're okay with 7 for now.
Okay, great. And then just to confirm, we're going to hold off then on appointing a liaison until this comes back.
I think that would kind of keep it more straightforward to just bundle audit work together. But if as the council's going through its appointments, you may want to be keeping a future liaison in mind as you think through the other assignments.
Thank you, City Manager Murphy. And while I have you, I don't know if others that are participating or watching remotely are having trouble with the council chambers audio. But for me, it's continuing to go in and out when those in chambers are speaking. So I know we have a new audio system. So I just wanted to alert those that are monitoring it that there, I think, needs some adjustment. Councilmember Taylor, are you also experiencing that in and out?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So with that, I wanted to continue going through the proposed items in the staff report. The next one that was brought up was the Palo Alto Community Fund Advisory Board. And at this point, I just wanted to know if the council was comfortable adding that to the list of appointments that we will be doing tonight.
No comment from the dais. I mean, I suppose I would say I have no problem with it if someone's interested.
They wanted participation from Palo Alto, East Palo Alto, and Menlo Park. So it would be nice. This would be the first year that there's a representative from our city on that board. So we could give it a year and see how it goes. But given the ask and they do good work in our community, I think it would be worthwhile. I don't think they meet very often either. So if nobody's opposed to it, I'd like to add it.
Can we propose changing the name to Palo Alto, Menlo Park, East Palo Alto Community?
You know, I went to one of the meetings. I told them their branding is way off if they want people in Menlo Park to get excited. So if you are the liaison, you can make that happen for us. So that's a little teaser there. Okay, so I think we'll go ahead
Actually,
and add
Mayor
that.
Willison,
Yes.
I believe that they had requested the mayor to be the liaison. So I will just put that out there.
Okay. I'm open to doing it. I'm also open to sharing that with others. So either way, but we'll add that. The next item is the community trust, which actually opens up the topic of school districts. For reasons unknown to me, we've had a school district liaison that's been identified as the Menlo Park City School District liaison, and only the Menlo Park City School District liaison. I would propose that we have just a school district or a schools liaison, and fold something called the community trust in with that. And to make sure you're all up to speed, the community trust is a group of all the school districts, including emergency services, all the different police departments, and different agencies that are dedicated to the health, well-being, and safety of children. I've been attending the community trust for years, first as a Parents for Safe Routes advocate, and then it's just a networking group and updates on what's going on in the community related to school-age children. But I think it would make sense to expand the Menlo Park City School District liaison to be school liaison. That would include then the community trust. Does anyone have any comments about that
Thank you,
concept?
Mayor Willison. I appreciate that idea of consolidating and bringing everyone together and working with the full school groups. So I support that.
Thank you, Councilmember Dorr and Vice Mayor Taylor.
Thank you, Mayor Willison. And my question is, well, the community trust does not include Sequoia Union High School District, but at one point there was some type of high school district committee, not sure if that's the right name for it. And so just wanted to find out if
Yeah,
there's anything there.
I believe the Sequoia Union High School District has something they call like 2x2 or something, where 2 of their school board members are liaise with the different school boards because of the Brown Act. So I would imagine that whoever was this person or liaison would link up with that Sequoia Union High School District subcommittee that intends to liaise with all the school districts and different jurisdictions. So I think it might be a bit of the first person that takes on this larger school role will kind of figure it out and find the right contacts and kind of make it what they want it to be, and then we go from there. So it sounds like Councilmember Dorr was in support of this. Councilmember Taylor, what do you think? I mean, Vice Mayor Taylor.
I'm supportive.
Okay. Any other comments from council members Combs or Nash?
I'm supportive.
Okay. Then,
This is Councilmember Combs. I
yes.
don't know if I completely understand, so I am not unsupportive. So I'll leave it there. But
Yeah.
because you described it sort of as like a networking.
So I thank you for the confusion articulated because I think there's a couple different things. One is kind of reaching out or being the point person for different school districts if there's things coming up and making yourself available and kind of keeping an eye on things. And then there's this secondary thing called the Community Trust, which is a group. It was spun out of the Menlo Park City School District. Maurice Geisel, who preceded Eric Burmeister, started it, and it's kind of lived on, and it's kind of a group that almost encompasses the same group. So it's sort of a dual role. It's just kind of keeping your eye on all things kind of school and children related. Is that helpful?
So like the idea would be these appointees would engage in that community trust, which includes all of the districts except for possibly the high school district, but then also be point persons with the board members for those school districts.
That's my thought. I'm open to other suggestions if that's too much, or if they should be bifurcated, or I just thought it was odd that we only had the Menlo Park City School District explicitly called out as a liaison. And then I also realized that I'd been participating kind of on my own as this community trust member, and it felt like the line between me participating as an individual and as a council member, it seemed like it should be more of a council appointed position.
So are there other councils that appoint people to this body? Like, is East Palo Alto represented officially?
Excellent question. People tend to Vice Mayor Taylor has attended. Some people participate in an official capacity, like Chief Norris attends, the chief of the Atherton Police attend, the various superintendents and school counselors attend, and but then there's folks that I don't know that's why it's a little fuzzy, why I wanted to bring it up to this group. But I did notice that I was there, and it felt like I should either be there in an official capacity or maybe nobody should go. But there are worthwhile things that you learn about, like children and mental health or active shooter things, just things that are going on, like trainings, things that are going on that I think the council would benefit from being appraised of. While you think on that, Vice Mayor Taylor.
Thank you, Mayor Willison. And I do believe that the community trust is beneficial. However, just looking at the list of different bodies that we're about to agree to be on, I'm wondering if this would fall under the liaison as opposed to an official member. So I don't know how that would work. But I do think that the community trust is beneficial because of the vast topics that are discussed. And I have not seen anyone from any other council there other than from Menlo Park in the past. But so I'm not sure how to manage that, just because I'm just looking at the list that we already have and just trying to be realistic about time and time management. How often do they meet? It's not monthly. Is it
I want
quarterly?
to say they meet maybe 3 times a year, maybe
Okay.
quarterly. And it's also, anyone is really invited. Like, you don't have to be a member of the community trust to be there. Kind of new people come in and out. It kind of is word of mouth. I would guess if we started kind of sending someone in a more official capacity and let, East Palo Alto know about it, or Palo Alto or Atherton know, like they might want to participate too. It just might be they don't realize that it's there.
Mayor Willison,
Yes.
I'm wondering if you have spoken with them and asked has anyone requested a council member participate, or is that
Yeah.
something that we would bring to them?
I'm happy to discuss it with them. It's probably a little bit in transition because Superintendent Burmeister has retired and he was kind of holding it. I did ask him, a year or 2 ago when I got on council if it was appropriate for me to continue coming, and he said, of course, anyone's welcome. So I think we might be charting a little bit of a new territory with this. It's just a very valuable resource. If you want, I can bring it up with the new holder of the community trust, and potentially maybe we bring this back for another time and kind of table the community trust issue and potentially just expand the school district liaison spot at this time if the council is more comfortable with that.
I am more comfortable with that at this point. I don't know that we need to.
That makes sense.
Vice Mayor Taylor was pointing out that we need to create more. Thank you.
So are folks in agreement with that? And I can kind of report back under council member reports if I get more information.
Thank you, Mayor Willison. I am in support of that as well.
Okay. It sounds like and then, so it sounds like if I can just get nods that we'll table the community trust issue, but we will expand the school district liaison to include whichever school districts the liaison feels is appropriate to reach out to beyond just the Menlo Park City School District.
So, not to throw another wrench, but do we need the liaisons? I mean, I don't know what formal thing that they do, like, and be honest, if I feel the need to engage with the school district leadership or with a member of the board of any of the school districts, I would just do that and have had those conversations, like, irrespective. And in the sense that, like, these liaisons don't sort of bring back official reports. And it seems like it's just a thing that exists on this assignment process that we do. And so again, so you're taking it one way in the sense of equity of, like, let's expand, and I'm taking it another way and I'm saying, well, let's just get rid of it. And so as an option, I'll throw that out there.
Thank you, Councilmember Combs. And I think a year or two ago, I was the school district liaison, and I actually reached out to, I met with two of the Sequoia Union High School district board members, and I believe the housing element was starting up. And I actually reached out to the Ravenswood folks, the MPCSD folks, the Sequoia folks, and the Los Lomita folks. And I just wanted to make sure that they were aware that the housing element was going on, and kind of what the context was. So that's how I kind of expanded it myself. But you're right, any council member could do that and call up another board member and have those types of meetings. I know we also have a liaison with the fire district, and any council member could do that as well. So I guess I'll
I would
ask.
only say the difference with a fire district is that we do or have had joint meetings with them. And so, which in theory, and again, I would be fine with that going away too if staff didn't see a value, but, and up until recently, like there was we did pay them money in connection with, someone's salary who was in theory providing service to the city. So there was a more formal engagement with the fire district, but that's not to say that, as you point out, maybe an official liaison isn't needed.
Do any other council members have thoughts on this topic?
Thank you, Mayor Willison. I'd just like to offer that in my own experiences of working with folks that are trying to find and do outreach to city officials and government officials, having a singular point of contact can often be a useful way to know who to talk to. And if someone is building relationships with multiple city staff, or school staff, they can have continuity and understanding the experiences of other schools in that conversation that I imagine could be helpful. So just in offering that, I could see there being benefits for one person being a point person for various schools. Thank you.
The only thing is that the person isn't the point person. So in theory, a point person, there is an actual official form of limiting, but someone being the point person to a school district and a liaison actually doesn't limit any other. So with these other things, like let's say, like BOSCA, there is a limiting function that if you are the representative of BOSCA, you are a voting member of that body, and any other council member can only engage in that body as a member of the public. And so in that way, it is official. Here, the liaison is not official in any way, and it doesn't limit the engagement. And so put it there is to sort of not officially represent what the relationship is, and that it is really a point person in any way. So it's not a point person that the staff relies on. I don't think it's a point person that other council members rely on. And like I say, there is official duties as a part of that. And so I just think, again, we've probably spent more time than it's worth. And so I'm fine with whatever we settle on. But like I said, I would probably be in favor of just getting rid of these things.
Councilmember Nash, do you have any thoughts on this?
I guess just if we don't have someone, presumably the person will be, an outside group would go to the mayor, most likely. So that I understand that it's helpful to have a singular point of contact for someone who is outside the group. I also agree with the point of view that this person really does not have any unique role that they will be fulfilling. So Councilmember Combs.
Just to really push on that, so Ravenswood wouldn't go to the mayor. They would go to Cecilia. They would go to the representative of District 1. And the same with Los Lomitas. They would likely they wouldn't come to me. They would go to the representative of District 5 more, and District 4, I don't specifically know all the school boundaries. So there is a connection or nexus that does exist in theory, because the school districts have boundaries that don't cross the entire city.
I agree with that. I was actually thinking in the case that they didn't know who to go. there's always the mayor as well as, yes, the district representatives. So I don't know that if we don't have someone, I don't think that that's a big miss.
Yeah, I'm open to removing these spots. My only concern is if it may contain an appearance of us not wanting to liaise and not being good neighbors. But as long as we put it out there to our fellow electeds and all different agencies that they can contact all of us, that we all have an open door and they can, they can find any of us, whether they want to connect based on geography or topic of interest, or they don't know who to contact, so they contact the mayor, that we're open to liaising. That would be my only concern. But if that doesn't, if that's not a concern of any of yours, then I'm fine removing these. Vice Mayor Taylor, any last thoughts on this?
Thank you, Mayor Willison. And my first thought was, if there is an issue that comes up and it comes to council, that there's always an opportunity to have a temporary subcommittee if need be. I agree with everything that has been said. I see the benefit of having it and I see the benefit of not having it. And I just go back to, I'm still sifting through the list that we already have. So maybe this can be talked about further, more in depthly when we talk about the Finance and Audit Committee and also the Community Trust. So we get a little bit more background and see how much value it will have based on what our agenda topics are, or dare I say, kick it to priorities. Don't necessarily want to do that, but if we're going to talk about Finance and Audit Committee more in depthly, maybe that's where this discussion belongs.
Okay, thank you, Vice Mayor Taylor. Then unless there's any objection, I would propose that we do some simplification for tonight and not appoint for a school district liaison or a fire protection liaison, and that we let it be known to our fellow agencies that we're all available, and let's see how it goes, and we can always revisit it. How does that sound to everybody? I'm seeing a nod from Vice Mayor Taylor.
So Mayor Willison,
Yes.
this is the city manager. If I can just totally supportive of waiting. I would say that there are some topics related to the fire district. You may recall that we were attempting a joint meeting in the fall, and so I would like to coordinate with them, and it may be helpful if there is a council representative assist with that. So that would be my one question for the council. So for example, if it's the mayor, that in terms of like just meeting coordination, we can just get clarity that.
Yeah, I would be,
we can proceed with that.
if there's no objection, I'd be happy to work with you, City Manager Murphy, on coordinating that, unless anyone else wants that.
Great. I'm seeing some head nods in the chamber,
Okay.
so that's helpful. Thank you.
Okay, great. And thanks everyone for bearing through us as I think this will make, once we get to the list, things will go a lot faster. I think the last question, one thing is that I wanted to point out that the cities of East Palo Alto and Palo Alto and now Menlo Park have requested that there are quarterly meetings of all mayors and vice mayors and city managers. So I just wanted to point that out. I don't think it's on our list, but those are meetings that will be happening. And then either the city manager, the vice mayor, or I can report out from those collaborative sessions, and we'll see how those go. But I think the final kind of open one, unless there's any more that the council wants to bring up, is the Searsville advisory group, and whether the council is desiring to add someone to be part of that advisory group. Not who should be added, but if we want to do that. Anyone have any comments about that?
So this is Councilmember Nash, and yes, I think it would be worthwhile to have someone appointed to that group. I have attended, there's been one meeting a year for the last 2 years. And so far it's just been imparting information to the group, but I think there will be some decisions and just more opportunity for actually participating later. So I think that would be beneficial.
Okay, great. Is that the how people are feeling on the dais? Okay, and I'm seeing
Yes.
okay, and I'm seeing a nod from Vice Mayor Taylor. Are there any other kind of open issues of structurally of groups modification or that we want to take off or add before we start going through the list? I'm not seeing any movement from anyone. So with that, I think we can start flying through this list. Maybe it's optimistic, but I think this is going to go great. So there are typically a handful of appointments that are typically handled by the mayor and vice mayor in primary and alternate roles. So unless there are objections, it looks like, well, ABAG, the primary would be myself, Mayor Wallison, and the alternate would be Vice Mayor Taylor. I'm going to ask Councilmember Nash to serve as my head nodding eyes on the dais. And Councilmember Taylor, if you can either nod when you agree with what I say, and then we can know we can move on. So does that ABAG work for everyone?
Yes.
Okay. And Councilmember Taylor, are you nodding? Okay, you're gonna have to do an exaggerated nod, not a subtle nod. Okay. Now the League of California Cities Peninsula Division also typically is the mayor with the vice mayor as the alternate. Sound good to everyone?
Yes.
Okay, great. The Menlo Park Chamber of Commerce. Let's see, City Clerk Karen, can you please scroll down so I make sure I'm going on the right thing? So that typically also is the mayor and then the vice mayor as the alternate.
I guess I would just question whether they will, I don't believe they will still be meeting.
I think
But the
we're,
mayor and vice mayor are fine.
okay, I think we're awaiting word and that will probably be some business community, larger liaising. So, okay. Now we're at the commute.org, which is also known by nobody as the Peninsula Traffic Congestion Relief Alliance. I've been serving as the primary on that. It meets, it says 5 meetings a year, about quarterly. And Vice Mayor Taylor has been the alternate. If anybody is dying to get on it, I'm happy to give someone else a turn, but I'm also happy to continue serving. Does anyone want to get in on commute.org? Or should I continue? So I'm going to say, Vice Mayor Taylor, are you interested in continuing? As the, actually, no, sorry. I have that
So
on the
Mayor
other sheet,
Willison-
it shows Councilmember Combs. Yes.
Correct. Just for clarification, the commute.org is not a mayoral and vice mayor required position. Currently, we have you and City Council Member Combs serving, so that can either stay the same or it can be updated.
I don't think that has to be the mayor or vice mayor.
That is correct. It does not.
Okay. Okay. So Councilmember Combs, are you interested in getting more involved in commute.org? Do you want to stay the alternate? Do you want to be the primary?
I think my current level involvement would be great to continue.
Okay. All right, unless anyone's dying to get in, I'm happy to stay in on that group and get some traction, because last year was our very first year as members of commute.org. So are those nods anywhere? So we'll stick
Yes.
with Wallison and Combs. Thank you. Okay, moving on to San Mateo County Council of Cities and City Selection. I believe we've already approved that, and that one's done. Is that correct?
Correct. In December, the mayor was selected and then
Okay,
the
I've already
alternate was.
participated in 2 of those meetings, so that's a good thing. Okay, next one, please. Okay, now we're getting to BASCA, which is our Water Supply and Conservation Agency. Councilmember Combs, I believe you are no longer interested in serving, is that correct?
Yeah, so a couple of unique things about serving on BASCA. It is a separate appointment with its own term, and so it is my intention to resign from the BASCA board. And the other thing, it does also come with a stipend. I can't remember there's a meeting or $100. But yeah, those are the 2 things. It is a body of 24 or 25 with, obviously representatives of it's a Stanford representative there. And of course this agency oversees it's the wholesale buyer for the water from the San Francisco PUC that everyone in Menlo Park gets San Francisco PUC Hetch Hetchy water, but only those residents in the city's water district, in theory, are represented by us on BASCA. Cal Water has its own. So it's a large body. Obviously, water is immensely important. It's challenging for me to continue in the role and to resign. It is mostly council members that serve as representatives for cities, but some cities, I think Redwood City maybe one, have scenarios where the representative is not on city council.
Thank you, Councilmember Combs. So are there any city council members who want to get in on the water business?
So I would actually be interested in joining. The one caveat, which I didn't realize, is I have the one district that does it's not served by Menlo Park Municipal Water, but I don't believe that would make a difference. But I just wanted to point that
Councilmember Nash, you cut out. You said you have one
I am the District 4 is the only district that is not at all, does not have any residents serviced by Menlo Park Municipal Water, but I don't believe that
Okay.
big factor. But
Okay.
I don't know if anyone else is interested.
Vice Mayor Taylor or Councilmember Dorr, are you interested in BASCA?
Hi, yes, Councilmember Dorr here. I too am interested and have some background in water and conservation work and would love to, if it would be of use, bring that expertise in that to the role, but happy to see as other roles align where it makes best sense to separate. Thank you.
That works fine for me. I'd be happy to have you do that. No problem.
Thank you.
Okay, so Councilmember Dorr will do BASCA. And thank you for your graciousness, Councilmember Nash. Yes.
Sorry, Mayor Wilson, there's and Councilmember Combs is familiar with this. The appointment is for a 4-year term, and so that's just one consideration. And it's not truly it's its own distinct appointment process. So as long as I just want to make sure the council is aware of that.
None of us knows what the future will hold, so
As someone who served, I'm completely supportive of Council Member Dorr continuing to. I think because there was the issue of a council member still being on BOSCA past the council tenure, and like us, I know I said I would commit to, like, if I were no longer on council but still appointed to BOSCA, that I would offer a resignation to the council so that they would have that option. I don't know that it's that big of a deal, to be honest, but I know that was something that we were concerned about in the past, because I know, and I think I shared Council Members Nash, that it seemed as though we weren't getting tons of visibility into not to say that the visibility improved that much with me, but at least I did have the direct visibility as a member of council. Whereas when we had someone who was not a member of council, there wasn't that like council member visibility. But as I said, I think Council Member Dorr will do a great job.
I guess I would add one piece, and that would be that if you do not serve beyond December 2024, that you would offer your resignation, and we could at that point make a decision whether or not we wanted you to continue.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Great. And so then City Manager Murphy, you said it's its own appointment. So do we need to do anything special tonight?
I think the important aspect for tonight was the council's intent, and then we will follow up procedurally on what it takes to execute on that.
Okay, thank you, City Manager Murphy. Okay, City Clerk Karen, can you move on to the next position? So it's the Airport Community Roundtable, which currently Vice Mayor Taylor sits on, and I believe I am the alternate, and I've never done anything. So Vice Mayor Taylor, do you want to stick with the airplanes?
Yes.
Fabulous. Does somebody else want a chance to do nothing, because Vice Mayor Taylor is such a fabulous primary?
I'm happy to serve as, knowing that I will likely never need to step in for Vice Mayor Taylor.
Okay, wonderful. So we have Vice Mayor Taylor and Councilmember Combs with the Airport Roundtable. The next is the Caltrain Modernization Local Policy Group, known as LPMG. And I have been serving as the primary. This is the one I'd really like to continue serving. District 3 runs the length of the railroad tracks. I think it's very important that I remain the main liaison or the main member of that one. I believe that Supervisor Mueller was the secondary. Is there someone else that would like to serve as the alternate?
I would be happy to serve as the alternate primary prior to. My one concern would be that I would like to continue with PCE, which then has another meeting back to back. So as long as it would not be, there would not be too many absences where there would be back to back meetings, I'd be happy to be the alternate. Actually, I'd be excited to be the alternate.
Thank you, Councilmember Nash. And I don't foresee being absent. And they always send out slides. So if one of us wasn't able to be there, I don't think it would be catastrophic, because we can always follow up offline as well. So wonderful. So we'll do, unless anyone else was dying to work on Caltrain, we'll do myself as the primary and Councilmember Nash as the alternate. Next, we're going to move on to the City County Association of Government, known as CCAG. I believe that Vice Mayor Taylor has been serving on CCAG, and Councilmember Combs has been the alternate. I've always been intrigued by CCAG, but I feel like my plate will be full and there's no point if you two competent members want to continue. Councilmember or Vice Mayor Taylor and Councilmember Combs, are you still interested in being on CCAG?
Thank you, Mayor Willison. I actually have a question for Councilmember Combs. If you'd be interested in serving as primary and I can serve as alternate.
So I was going to say that Mayor Willison can be alternate. So if I'm fine with that, but I'm also okay with, let me just make sure when the meet. Yeah, I'm fine, but also willing to defer to Mayor Willison if it's something she's interested in. She can be the primary and I can be the alternate. Or Vice Mayor Taylor, I can be the primary and you can be the alternate.
I think that for this year with the appointments that the mayor has baked in, I'm happy to have the two of you run with this, and then maybe next year I'll speak up more about CCAG. But so I wasn't clear on which one of you wanted to be the primary and which one of you was going to be the alternate. And first of all, let me ask Councilmember Nash and Councilmember Dorr, is this one that you're dying to do?
Thank you, Mayor Willison. No, thank you.
Okay, then it doesn't sound like Mayor Nash is jumping out either.
think
So, I mean,
she's thinking.
So I'd be happy to be an alternate. I would rather not be a primary. And I have no strong desire to be an alternate.
You know, honestly, as I think of this, I don't know that I could be the primary here. So I can say the alternate, or I can roll off of being the alternate, but I don't think I have the capacity to be the primary.
Councilmember Taylor, Vice Mayor Taylor, gosh, everyone changes their title. Vice Mayor Taylor, were you wanting to stay on as the primary?
I can stay on as primary. However, whomever chooses to be the alternate, you will get called, just because I actually have 3 meetings that meet on the same Thursday. So eventually, which there is a meeting this Thursday, I may call and ask if you can attend. And currently they meet virtually. That's the other piece, is if meetings go to in person, it will be difficult for us all to meet the schedules that we're putting together this evening.
So I would be happy to be the alternate and fill in whenever needed. But I'm also, if anyone else wants to, that's just fine too.
I think let's move with the primary being Taylor and the alternate being Nash, and we'll see how it goes. And I think this is another plug for the letter that will be circulated. If you want to write in about virtual attendance, changing it for AB 2449 or something. This is a good case for it. So that's CCAG. Now we're going to go to Stanford Community Resource Group. So this is saying that it was Supervisor Mueller, and then Councilmember Taylor as the alternate. Councilmember Taylor, are you? And then was there another Stanford group that Councilmember Nash was on as well?
No, I was on this one, and Councilmember Mueller was interested, so I rolled off. And I would be interested in doing this again, but not it. I'm happy to do it again. Actually, I am interested in doing this again.
Vice Mayor Taylor, are you interested? And then Councilmember Dorr, I want to make sure that we're leaving room for you, because we're kind of re-upping a lot of things, but we need to make sure we're giving you space too.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I'd be interested in serving as an alternate and supporting the work, but if someone else would like that role, they'd be welcome to it. Thanks.
Councilmember Taylor, what's your interest with staying on with Stanford?
I am happy not to be on.
Okay. Councilmember Nash, were you interested in being the primary?
I'm fine either way. And very honestly, when Vice Mayor Taylor and I attended, both of us would attend meetings, which was satisfactory with them. So I'm fine any which way.
Okay, so given your experience with it, Councilmember Nash, perhaps you should be the primary, and then Councilmember Dorr can be the alternate. Then you can go to the meetings together. That
Sounds
works.
great.
Okay. Okay, moving on past Stanford. Emergency Services Council, the San Mateo County JPA. So this has been done by Vice Mayor Taylor. Vice Mayor Taylor, you've had a lot of assignments. You must be very busy. And with Councilmember Combs as the alternate. Are you both interested in staying on with this?
Yes.
I'm interested as long as no one else is.
Okay. Councilmember Nash or Dorr, do either of you feel strongly about getting involved in this?
I actually don't, but after this, I want to go back and revisit because I just realized that there was a schedule conflict. So,
I'm sorry,
so let's
you-
finish.
You
So-
cut out after you wanted to revisit because,
Oh, on the, I have a schedule conflict I just saw between CK, Stanford Community Resource.
okay.
So
Do you want to, so for emergency services, you were not interested, was that correct?
correct.
Okay, and Councilmember Dorr, were you at all interested in that? Not that you're not interested in it, but we're all interested in all of these topics.
And this is,
Um,
sorry,
but-
just to clarify, this is for CCAG?
Sorry, no, this is sticking right now with Emergency Services Council, the San Mateo County Joint Powers Authority.
Yeah, and it's the alternate position, right? Because
Right.
I'm sorry, Mayor Willison, would you please repeat the
Sure.
the
So
suggestion
right
here?
now,
Thank you.
the body that we are discussing is the Emergency Services Council, which oversees the emergency planning, training, and exercises in the various cities and reviews recommendations, policies, programs, and plans for adoption. And Vice Mayor Taylor has been serving as the primary and would like to stay on. Councilmember Combs has been serving as the alternate, and I'm not clear if he could stay on or if he's interested in staying on.
Yeah.
But
I can stay on, but if someone else would like to serve as the alternate. So that it's, if Councilmember Dorr is interested, she can have it. If not, I think we're set with Vice Mayor Taylor and myself.
thank you, Councilmember Combs. So Councilmember Dorr, we're just looking to see if that's a role you want.
I'd welcome Councilmember Combs to continue with that role if you'd like to.
Okay, thank you. So moving on to the Facebook Local Community Fund.
Actually, Mayor Willison,
Yes,
I'm sorry. I
want
guess
to go back to CCAG.
I want to
and-
go back to CCAG and
thank you.
just confirm with Vice Mayor Taylor how much you will rely on me as a alternate, given that that is on the same night as the Stanford Community Resource Group, half an hour apart.
Thank you, Councilmember Nash. And the resource group meets monthly or quarterly? Or
According to this
bi-monthly?
monthly, my recollection was it, in fact, do you
I don't
recall
recall
that?
meeting that often.
No, I don't either. Okay, why don't we leave it with this? If there's a problem, we can revisit it, but I think we manage this. Thank you.
Thank you.
And if you need a different alternate, I could do it. But if you want to keep it as is, and if it becomes a problem, we could bring it back. How does that sound? Keep it as is.
Sure, that's
Okay.
fine.
Okay,
If you have, yes, let's do that.
okay, thank you, Councilmember Nash.
Through the mayor,
Yes,
this is City Clerk Karen. I just checked the Stanford Community 4 times a year, not
I'm sorry, was that 4 times a year?
correct.
Okay,
So that should work. That's fine. Thank you.
okay, great. So was there any other cleanup that anyone wanted to do or buyer's remorse so far in assignments? Or should we continue? Okay, let's continue then. We're at the Facebook Local Community Fund. So this one has been primary Vice Mayor Taylor and alternate Councilmember Nash. Vice Mayor Taylor, is this one you'd like to stay on with?
I would like to be the alternate.
Councilmember Nash, what are your thoughts?
I would be happy. I don't believe we met this last year. I'd be happy to stay on it. I'd also, if someone else has a strong desire, I'm fine with that too.
Is anyone else interested? I'm guessing actually, well, Councilmember Combs, I don't know if this is one you can be on. I guess that's up to you. But Councilmember Dorr or Councilmember Combs, any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I can't be on it.
Okay, so Councilmember Dorr, do you have any interest in being the primary on the Facebook Local Community Fund?
At this moment, no, but as we go down the list, it would be helpful. Thank you.
Okay. We can also assess City Clerk Heron. At the end, will you be able to give us a sense of how many each of us signed up for, so we have a sense of kind of distribution of work?
Yes, I should be able to display something.
Okay, that's great. Vice Mayor Taylor.
Thank you, Mayor Willison. And to my knowledge, the Facebook Local Community Fund meets, I want to say, twice a year, and it's over a 2-week period. So it's not a long-term commitment. So if no one is interested in it, I have no problem. And it's usually sometime around June or July.
So I'm happy doing that. That's fine. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember Nash and Vice Mayor Taylor. So the Grand Boulevard Initiative. So I believe I was the primary on this, but I don't know if we even met once. Maybe we met once. So this is kind of defunct. Vice Mayor Taylor, your hand is raised. Did you? No. Okay. So I don't know how, City Manager Murphy, do you have any updates on the status of this group?
I do not. This may be one where we could table for future consideration. We could do a little bit more point in appointing to a relatively infrequent or inactive group. So we could bring this back if needed at a future meeting.
I think that makes sense. I really like the idea of the Grand Boulevard, but it sadly doesn't seem to be going anywhere. So unless there's an objection, we will move on.
For what it's worth, I
yes.
was on it as it wound down, and we had regular meetings, and then it was decided that there would be no more regular meetings. So I'm not surprised that it has that there haven't been meetings.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember Nash. Moving on to Hart. So Supervisor Mueller was the primary and I was the alternate on this. I want to say it meets once a year. I'm happy to do it. Unless anyone else is interested in it.
This is Councilmember. I'd actually be interested in serving.
Wonderful. You want to be the alternate, not the primary?
No, I'll take primary.
You can be primary.
Yeah. Okay.
Does anyone want to check out Hart and find out what, because you do kind of get to find out what it's about, which I thought was educational. Would anyone like to be the alternate on it?
I would love to be the alternate. This is Councilmember Dorr.
Great. So how about Combs and then Dorr is the alternate for Hart? Our next item is Peninsula Clean Energy, and Councilmember Nash, I think you mentioned earlier your interest in staying on it as the primary. Is that correct?
That is correct. In large part, they've had a large turnover as people rotate out of office. So I think it's important that I remain in the primary role.
Thank you. And I have been serving as the alternate, but Councilmember Nash has been doing a tremendous job. I haven't done much. And given Councilmember Doerr's background in sustainability, I would be more than happy if she's interested, if she wants to go into the alternate role here, or if somebody else is interested. I don't know if she's interested. So
Thank you, Mayor. I would be interested in serving as alternate.
anyone have any objections to Councilmember Nash and Councilmember Doerr continuing on or taking these positions? Okay. This is very timely. The San Mosquito Creek JPA. My guess is that Councilmember Combs is interested in staying in the primary. Is that correct, Councilmember Combs?
Yes.
Okay. Vice Mayor Taylor, would you like to stay as the alternate?
Yes.
Okay. If there's no objection, we'll have them continue in their important roles on that JPA. Moving on to the San Mateo County Mosquito and Vector Control District, which is actually already filled by former Mayor Carlton and City Manager Murphy. Is this one of the ones like Basca that is an appointment that kind of outside our timing?
Yes, it is a discrete appointment, and I believe when former Mayor Carlton was appointed to it, she was no longer on the city council, if my recollection is correct. So this is not a case that was a carryover from her previous service. I think there are some challenges filling that role, and she stepped up to I think it could just remain as is if that's the.
Thank you, City Manager Murphy, and I'm more than happy to have former Mayor Carlton continue in this role if there are no objections.
None, no objections here.
Okay, thank you. Now we're moving on to South Bayside Waste Management Authority, SBWMA, and Vice Mayor Taylor, you have been the primary on this one, and Councilmember Combs has been the alternate. Are you both interested in staying on?
Yes.
Yeah, as long as no one else is interested, I'll stay
Okay.
on.
Councilmember Nash or Councilmember Doerr, are either of you wanting to get into the trash business and recycling and composting?
Very important, and no thank you.
Also, no, thank you.
Okay, so thank you to Vice Mayor Taylor and Councilmember Combs for staying in those positions. We are going to move on from the Finance and Audit Committee. We discussed that at length, and now we are going to go into our liaison roles. And actually, City Manager Murphy, before we get started, can you give the council and the public kind of what is the role of a liaison for these commissions? I'm sorry, I'm putting you on the spot.
Great, and I'm happy for any from from Ms. Herron, because she's probably most familiar with some of the activities of the commissions. But it serves, to my recollection, it serves as in this case a main point of contact for the members of the commission to. It was great. So Ms. Herron was able to bring up the language right there. So I don't want to misspeak speak from recollection. I'm happy to add any commentary in addition to this.
Thank you, City Manager Murphy. City Clerk Karen, are you able to summarize for those that aren't reading along?
Yes, thank you, Mayor Willison. So it, for the city council's role as the liaison, they are exactly that. They are advisory bodies, and the city council help to facilitate the communication between city council and the advisory bodies during city council, like annual goal setting and priorities. Those will then set the tone for advisory body work plans. And again, the city council liaison can assist that advisory body with, kind of focusing work plans and just kind of championing that. So.
Thank you. Did any council members want to comment on this broad topic, or should we just start going down? All right. Then I just thought it would be a good summary of what we're appointing here. So City Clerk Karen, if you can go back to the list. And so we have, let's see, 6 commissions that we're going to be appointing and 5 council members. And council members have definitely held liaison positions before. I think some may like staying on, some may like to float around and learn about the different commissions and get to know them. So it's kind of a fresh start here. But we'll start with Complete Streets, which most recently has been Vice Mayor Taylor. So Vice Mayor Taylor, first, can I ask you if you are interested in staying on as the liaison?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm interested. Thank you.
Okay, are there other council members who are very passionate about serving as the liaison for Complete Streets? And again, this doesn't mean you can't, I guess you can attend the meetings and talk to commissioners, but you're not the official liaison if you're not the liaison. So if there's no objection, then Vice Mayor Taylor will have you serve again as Complete Streets. Thank you. Now we're going to move on to the Environmental Quality Commission, also known as the EQC. And Councilmember Nash has been serving as a liaison for that. Councilmember Nash, what are you thinking?
So I love serving as the liaison on the EQC. However, I think that perhaps Councilmember Dorr may have some interest and may bring new, fresh ideas to the commission. So I would be happy to continue or to pass it along.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Nash. I actually have my eye on some other commissions I'd like to be a part of, and so would welcome you to continue on.
Sounds good if no one else is interested.
All right, so seeing there are no objections, we'll move on to the Housing Commission, which Councilmember Combs has been serving as a liaison. And Councilmember Combs, would you like to continue, or is there another commission you're waiting for?
I wonder if this is one of those commissions that Councilmember Dorr is on.
I'm curious about it, but also curious to know what you're interested in.
So if there is interest from to roll off.
Thank you. Then I would love to offer my name to this.
Okay, so I think then Councilmember Dorr will liaise with the Housing Commission. Next up is the Library Commission, which Supervisor Mueller was serving as a liaison for. I'll just put out there that I'm happy to take any commission role. I kind of like learning about the different commissions. So does anyone want the library commission?
I am happy to do it. I've done it before and would welcome you taking on that role, Mayor Willison, but I'm also happy to do it if that works better.
Well, let me cut to Councilmember Combs. You're the only one who hasn't had a designated liaison spot yet. Which of the remaining ones, the library, Parks and Rec, and planning, do you have your eye on?
Well, I'm currently Parks and Rec, and it desire to continue as the Park and Recs liaison. I was a member of the Planning Commission for 5 years, and so that was enough for me.
Is there anyone that is wanting to be the liaison with the Planning Commission before we go back? So let's, is there any objection to Councilmember Combs staying on the Parks and Rec Commission? Okay.
No.
Okay, great. So Councilmember Combs will do Parks and Rec, and then we have library and planning. I'm happy to do either. Is there anybody that is interested in serving as the Planning Commission liaison?
I'll just chime in. I would be willing, because someone needs to do 2 or something like that.
Correct.
So I'm fine with also doing library if you want to do planning. But yeah, that would be fine with me.
Thank you for that offer. I just want to make sure if there's anyone that's dying to get into planning. I guess Councilmember Nash, Councilmember Dorr, or Vice Mayor Taylor. Is anyone wanting planning?
I would be happy to do planning, but have no problem with someone else doing it as well.
And I'm in a similar boat.
Okay. So I would love to try out library, just because why not? And so between Councilmember Nash and Councilmember Dorr, one of you will need to double up and take planning as well. You can discuss amongst yourselves and let us know.
I mean, I'm also happy to take planning. Doubling up, but I'm also like happy to take planning.
I'm fascinated to learn about it and
Okay.
would love to serve if you have use. Thank you.
Wonderful. We want someone fascinated. Not that the rest of us aren't fascinated in the Planning Commission again, but extra enthusiasm is fabulous. So then I believe I will take the Library Commission, and City Clerk Karen, there you go. Okay. Councilmember Combs is Parks and Rec, and Councilmember Dorr, you got it all. Okay. And thank you to Councilmember Combs, Councilmember Nash, and Councilmember Dorr for being willing to double up. So City Clerk Karen, is that the end of our list? Oh. So I believe we've decided to table the school districts and the fire protection district, but the flood and sea level rise agency remains. Vice Mayor Taylor.
Thank you, Mayor Willison. I'm still interested in being the liaison for One Shoreline.
That makes sense. Councilmember Nash, you've been serving as the alternate. Is that a role you want to stay in?
I would like to stay in it, although I have had nothing to do. Vice Mayor Taylor has been a regular.
She's fabulous.
I am interested in continuing as alternate.
Okay. Are there any objections to that?
None up here.
Okay, wonderful. So with that, City Clerk Karen, have we made it through the list?
Not quite yet. The ones that we discussed about
Thank you.
adding.
Thank you. Home for All. So this just has one member. And it's been, oh, because why is there only one member? Just, Councilmember Taylor, or Vice Mayor Taylor, do you know?
I have no idea. It does not meet monthly. And I'm not even sure how I was invited to sit on it, but we had a meeting right before Supervisor Horsley's last day on the board.
Okay. And you'd like to stay on it?
Yes, it
Okay.
doesn't meet that often.
Okay. Okay.
Which brings me to a question. Is this the last? This is the last one. I'll wait until we're done with this and I'll ask my question.
Okay, great. And then given Councilmember Nash's pointing out that the desire for the group was to be the mayor, I can stick with the Palo Alto Community Fund Advisory Board unless anyone was dying to get in there. Doesn't look like it. Okay. And then Searsville Advisory Group was the one we have decided to add. Councilmember Nash, I believe you said you attended one of these meetings. Did you also have a desire to serve, or is anyone else interested in serving?
I would be interested in serving.
Was there anyone else that wanted to serve?
It's good up here.
Okay, then Councilmember Nash, that one is yours. I guess my only question is, do they do any, please, do they work with the San Francisco Creek JPA at all?
They do.
Because I'm just wondering if you are with Stanford with you're with Stanford with Councilmember Taylor now?
No, with
No.
Councilmember Dorr.
Oh, Councilmember Dorr. I'm just trying to think through some Brown Act. So,
It has
that's okay.
not been, yeah.
Okay, because Councilmember Dorr and you, and then Councilmember Combs. Well, okay. If you don't think it's a problem, then.
It has not been to date. No.
Okay.
And I've been to 2 meetings over 2 years.
Okay, so we'll just monitor that. But
I don't believe it's a problem.
okay, we will not monitor that. That's not a problem. Okay, great. Thank you. City Clerk Karen, are we now done? And I see Councilmember Combs with his hand raised.
Yeah, there's also the what is it, like Menlo Park grants or funds subcommittee that do we not do that at this meeting? Do we do that? Good. But I think I and Councilmember Taylor are the current members, and I'm fine with that. But I was just wondering when we had when we discussed that rotation.
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't see it on the list, but I do remember it being a thing. Sir Clerk Karen, do you have any?
Yes. Thank you, Mayor Willison. And so perceptive of you.
Well,
Generally, we do
Councilmember Combs is on it.
yes, we generally do these appointments as well as subcommittee appointments. Subcommittee appointments at your next meeting, January 24th.
So Councilmember Combs, you get a gold star for noticing that we are not doing that tonight. Are you satisfied with that, Councilmember Combs?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, great.
I just know everything I am responsible for, and so I saw that it didn't come up. So
Okay, great. So City Clerk Karen, at this time, would it be appropriate to kind of see the lay of the land so we can just look it over and make sure we're all comfortable with it?
Yes, give me maybe 20 seconds just to make
Thank
sure that
you.
I have it correct. Okay, I think I have it.
Okay, so if council members can take a look at this tiny screen.
I'll see if I can make it larger. Okay. Adobe print. Save.
I think there might be a light error under Library Commission.
Yeah, and I see something under CCAG too, doesn't look right.
Okay, let me start with CCAG and go back. So I have Taylor and Nash. Thank you. So this is- Library. Okay, let me try this again. Tried to make it a little bigger and updated library in CCAG.
Has everyone had a chance to review it and make sure it looks correct to you? So Councilmember Nash, on the dais, on the actual dais, are people done looking at it?
Yes, we are good.
Thank you. And Vice Mayor Taylor, please let me know when you've had a chance to review. Okay, wonderful. I think we are all set then, City Clerk Karen.
Thank you, Mayor. So we will need a motion and a second to make the appointments as presented.
So I'm seeing Vice Mayor Taylor's hand raised.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'd like to second the motion.
Okay, Councilmember Dorr seconding.
Thank you. So I have a motion on the floor by Vice Mayor Taylor and a second by City Council Member Dorr to make appointments of representatives and alternatives to various local and regional agencies and as liaisons and members to City Council, well, now just liaisons to City Council advisory bodies as included in the attachment, which will be attached to these minutes. Any further City Council questions or discussion? Seeing none by roll call vote, City Council Member Combs,
Yes.
City Council Member Dorr,
Yes.
City Council Member Nash,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Taylor,
Yes.
Mayor Willison,
Yes.
and the motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you, City Clerk Heron and my colleagues for their graciousness and leadership on taking on these roles. And for members of the public, thank you for bearing with us. I know it's a long and slow process. These appointments are quite important regionally to make sure we aren't working in a vacuum here in Menlo Park, that we're part of a larger community of cities. We're now moving on to informational items. Informational items are transmitted to the City Council and staff's effort to provide an update on matters of importance to the City Council. Informational items are not action items. However, a City Council member, city staff member, or a member of the public may request to make a comment or ask a question on any of the informational items. City Clerk Heron, do we have any public comments on the informational items?
Thank you, Mayor Willison. So at this time, if any member of the public wishes to provide comment on our information, each one, City Council agenda topics, H2, transmittal of city attorney billings. H3, update on draft outdoor dining design standard. Please engage that hand feature in the bottom of your screen. If you are calling in from a landline or a cell phone, please press *9 now. If participating in person, please complete a speaker card at the back table and return it to the clerk's desk. This will be the final call for public comment on our items H1 through H3. Seeing no hands and no cards. Mayor Willison, you may continue.
Thank you, City Clerk Karen. Just checking in with the council if you have any questions on the informational items.
This is Councilmember.
Yes.
I have a question. I've noticed that somewhat recently now, after every agenda item, why do we do that now? And do we actually have to do that? It seems not like very environmentally friendly for the ink or the additional paper. So that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, good question. There was a recent lawsuit over this, and the California courts decided that the requirement to identify a project as exempt actually mandated that the city notice in its agenda that a project is exempt. There are some cities working, but it is now a requirement that we follow. And in order to make sure that that is happening, the city clerk has suggested that where a project is not actually subject to language, which I'm supportive of. So that is the reasoning behind it. Question.
No other comments.
Great.
Oh, actually,
that was interesting. Yeah.
This is for curiosities on a different one of the agenda items. So on the informational item on updating on draft outdoor dining design standards, I'm just curious if there's been any work that we can explore at some point of work to support and encourage removable small outdoor installations for businesses that are non-dining, but who may also benefit from that expanded outdoor traffic. Thank you.
So as part of our, can you hear me? As part of our outreach, as we release these design standards for outdoor dining, we actually contacted all of the businesses that participate in our current program. And we are seeking feedback on exactly what you said on other types of use. And if we do receive that type of feedback, we can explore it on the.
Great, thank you.
I think hearing from Mr. Solte is a great segue into our city manager's report, because I believe City Manager Murphy wants to do some introductions. So I will turn it over to City Manager Murphy for his reports.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Wollison. And before I do that, I do just want to recognize some of the audio challenges that we've been experiencing this evening. We're for future meetings, so I do appreciate everybody's patience while we do try to go through this upgrade to our audio system. I want to acknowledge it. A lot of people, including the people that have installed this equipment, are tuning in, and we'll make. So with that said, I do want to be able to go through a few city manager updates this evening. So one is to be able to recognize some recent new hires and promotions here at the city. gentleman sitting next to me, Stephen Stolte. He's the new assistant city manager with the city. He comes to us from the city of Daly City and 7 years with the city of Daly City and previous experience with the San Mateo County. So we're very excited for him to start. His first day was last Tuesday, and he definitely hit the ground running. So really appreciate flexibility, adaptive. Look forward to him being part of the team. So the next person I'd like to recognize is Nikki Nagaya. She was on earlier this evening. She's assuming the role of deputy city manager. Nikki has been with the city for over 8 years, feeling absolutely past few weeks related to the storm. So very, very grateful, thankful that Nikki's part of the team and will be growing with the city of Park. The third person is not yet with the organization, but we're looking starting next Tuesday. Her name is Brittany Mello, coming to us from the city of Huntington Beach in Southern California, where she's currently serving as administrative services director, and she would assume that role here with the responsibilities than what she had in Huntington Beach. So looking forward to Brittany joining the team. So excited to be able to announce those positions. I do have a couple of other topics to report on. One is related to the storm, recent and upcoming storms. So as we've mentioned, continuing to assess, monitor, and we will be just continue to encourage members of the public to tune in, to first off subscribe to updates from park.gov/subscribe. And the second thing is to monitor our storm updates at menlopark.gov/storm update. So again, we will be reporting back to the council in the near future. The last couple things to call out tonight, there was some mention of the council's goal setting. As people recall, last year the council did not have the opportunity to go through a goal setting process. We are committed to doing that. And that's a specific assignment for the new assistants to help us with that effort. And we are targeting to be able to conduct that in the February timeframe if everything cooperates with us. And we hope to be able to provide a little more a description of what's intended this year with the information update ahead of time. The last thing I'd like to clarify is the city is pursuing a series of stop sign installation. Unfortunately, last Friday, one of our contractors prematurely installed a couple stop signs. Those were noticed by they're quickly taken down. The reason why they were taken down is that there was lacking some pavement marking, some warning, some notice to the community that they were going to be installed. It was purely a mistake in terms of them being installed. So they will eventually be installed in due course with the proper notification ahead of proper markings. Those are just a few updates for this evening.
Thank you so much, City Manager Murphy, and welcome to Mr. Stolte. Stolte. Okay, we'll get it. Congratulations to Ms. Nagaya, and we look forward to meeting Ms. Mello. And also another huge thanks. I know we expressed it at our emergency meeting last week. But thank you to all of our staff who've been working around the clock, clearing out drains and creeks to keep us out of the worst consequences of the flooding and the storm. So it's greatly appreciated. At this time, if there are council members who have reports to share, now would be the time.
So I would
Yes,
like,
Councilmember Nash.
thank you. So I would like to share a presentation that is going to be coming up with the group Menlo Park Community Collaborations. They are having a session on Thursday, January 19th from 7 to 8:30 that will cover home electrification. It will be presented by Tom Cabot, who is the chair of the Menlo Parks EQC Commission, and he's also a climate consultant and activist. This presentation will cover new availability and affordability for electric appliances, including heat pumps, cleaner, safer, and faster induction cooking, better clothes drying, and gentler car charging. He'll also talk about how to make an electrification plan so appliances can all fit electric panel, and how to harvest the many thousands of dollars of incentives available today. More details about this session and how to zoom in are available. And thank you so much, City Clerk Herron, at greenblueandyou.org/community-sessions. So I hope the public and council members can attend. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Nash, and I see Vice Mayor Taylor's hand raised.
Thank you, Mayor Willison. And this is actually something I thought about earlier, but just remembered to bring up, and that is the potential of creating a report out document, considering how many different boards and commissions that would help when it's time to report out, because there's at least with CCAG, a lot of the boards and commissions, the agendas are pretty long. So thank you.
Thank you for that suggestion, Vice Mayor Taylor. And hopefully, as the city manager's office gets staffed up, we'll have resources. Not putting city manager on the spot here, but something to add to the list. Are there any other council member reports?
Yes, I'd just like to make a brief announcement. Thank you so much for having me here at my first city council meeting. And as I mentioned on the call yesterday, on the meeting yesterday, especially for District 5 residents, but anyone is welcome. I'm holding my first coffee hour at the Woodside Bakery over by the Safeway in Sharon Heights tomorrow from 8 to 9:30 a.m. This is not the one and only chance to see and speak with me. I will be holding more of these open community conversations, very informal, get to know me, get to know you moments, but this is the first one and would love to see. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Councilmember Dorr, and City Manager Murphy has his hand raised.
Yes, thank you, Mayor, for the opportunity to speak again. So I do am receptive to the suggestion about the council report outs, and I have had some conversations with the Vice Mayor Taylor previously. So that is something that's will assist the council with in the future. And the second item is I did neglect one other announcement reports earlier, is a plug for the tomorrow night's joint planning, Thursday night's joint Planning Commission, Housing Commission meeting on the housing element. It's this Thursday at 7 p.m. I believe it's not sure if I know it's definitely virtual.
It is hybrid in the
hy-
chambers.
hybrid meeting on Thursday at 7 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, City Manager Murphy. Councilmember Combs, did you have any reports?
No.
Great. So I already gave my report when we were talking about that new state law that's modifying the Brown Act. So as I mentioned, the city manager will be circulating information about how to weigh in on that. And with that, I will adjourn the meeting at 8:30 p.m. Thank you so much.